we on? We are live again, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, guys, I woke up this morning with renewed energy. I woke up this morning. I had a really weird dream. I'm going to be talking about that. But when I woke up this morning, guys, I felt like 11 when she becomes 11 and she's fighting Vecna right at the end of season 4. I felt like Jessica Ennis on the last 400 meters of the Olympics 2012. I felt like Tyson Fury when he got up after the first knockdown of Deontay Wilder, and he got up and he said, nah, not today. I'm not going to quit. Guys, listen, if you live in the United Kingdom, if you live in the Western world, there's no going back, ladies and gentlemen. There is no going back. I woke up this morning and I felt odd. I felt strange. I felt energized. And I'm bringing that energy to you guys this morning on Friday the 27th. Remember, it's Armed Forces Day tomorrow, guys, and be careful, be safe wherever you go. Listen, guys, the dream I had last night, it's not really going to mean much to many people, but for some people it will. I woke up this morning and I had a dream. I had a little dream about being Little Raven. And when I was Little Raven, I was in David Lynn's shop. I'd gone to David Lynn's shop with my granddad. And he asked me, he said, do you want some cans of Coke? And that was it, guys. That was just the dream I had. But I remembered it so vividly. I remembered it like I was there yesterday, how special I felt as a little 10-year-old Raven. Little 10-year-old Raven with his pajamas on, ready for, gone to the shop with his granddad. Guys, listen. There is no going back now. There's no going back. We do not go back. We are not going to have those times again, guys. That was like, maybe the 90s, like mid-90s or something. I'm going to say 92 to 93. The song that is playing in my head now, and I don't know why, guys, this song's playing, because it's not a band that I listen to that often. It's Tonight by Smashing Pumpkins, or maybe Tonight by Smashing Pumpkins. I can't get that song out of my head right now, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, guys, there is no going back. And I woke up this morning and I thought, right, there is no going back to that time. There is no time machine as I perceived it. Anyway, we either make a better future for ourselves or we do not. And they're the two options that we have laid out in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the United Kingdom, if you're in the Western world, if you're in the world in general, guys, listen, I did a video earlier on and I talked about how Russia are releasing their central bank digital currency. Well, it turns out they may be part of the gang. But Dodsbra has extended to a 3-month renewal subscription. Thank you guys for all the subscriptions, guys. Listen, every one of you subscribers, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for subscribing. You guys are fantastic. Listen, guys, something happened to me today on TikTok. It's never happened before. It's never happened before. I can't even talk about it while I'm on TikTok. So what I'm going to do is, guys, listen, when you switch over to YouTube, and I'm going to talk about this on YouTube, but when I talk about this on YouTube, you'll see exactly why I can't talk about this on YouTube. But guys, listen, in the mainstream media today, there's mainstream media talking about how the Russians are pushing migrants to the United Kingdom, how we've already got, the 5th column in the United Kingdom. Look, guys, I don't want to keep saying this, and I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy who's like, who's trying to push something. But guys, listen, it's going to be really important that people jump over to YouTube and listen to what I have to say when we go over to YouTube. And you'll understand why, guys, you'll understand why when we get into that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have started the live stream, I guess. Raven's got lots of energy. Remember, guys, we ain't going back. We're moving forward. For better or worse, we are moving forward. Look forward. Do not look back. You are not going that way. But right, let me jump up and get these comments. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go to YouTube first. AJ Athletics is saying, let's go Raven. And that's what I feel like, guys. Look, I did have a more somber feeling. A lot of my friends transcended to beams of light. In Iraq and Afghanistan, and it is Armed Forces Day tomorrow. And there's one particular friend I think of. I'm not going to mention his name. I don't even know if I can talk about him. So there's one particular friend who transcended to a beam of light while he was in Afghanistan. And I always remember I was talking to him a couple of days before. he was on a different rotation to me. I was talking to him a couple of days before, and his girlfriend was pregnant. And they just had the scan where they can determine whether it's a boy or a girl, and it was a little boy. And he never met his boy, and that boy never met his father. And I look at the United Kingdom right now, and I just think, I wish I could go back, because maybe, and I'm not saying I would say this to him. In fact, I probably wouldn't, but back then anyway. But, you've got to think, well, do you know what? I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. What I am going to say is, yesterday I had to go yesterday I went, like a couple of weeks ago, I went into Sheffield to go outdoors to get a roof tent. They didn't have the roof tent. I phoned them up. I went back yesterday, and as I was driving back through Sheffield, I saw I perceived he was an Afghan guy. I think he was Afghani. He looked Afghani anyway. He was strutting through the through the city centre, sorry. And he had an ammo belt on. And he had I believe it was the Palestinian colours, and it was tied around his head. And I just thought, wow, is this where we are now? Is this where we are now? But listen, guys, we are where we are now. There is no going back. There's no going back, guys. We can't go back. We can't go back to the 90s. I am never going to be Little Raven again, holding my granddad's cheese. Wow. I am never going to be Little Raven again, going to Dave and Lynn's shop with my granddad and him asking me if I want some cans of Coke because we was having a barbecue that night. And we ain't going back, guys. So listen, if you are a parent, make life good for your kids. Give them memories. Give those kids memories, because they will remember, guys, okay? And if you are a kid, enjoy your time when you are young, because you're going to have to grow very quickly. Right, let me jump. I don't even know what comments I'm on, guys. I've just been waffling. Right, guys, listen, can you do me a favor? The buttons up here or down here, if you're watching on YouTube, whatever you guys are, whatever you guys are watching on, please hit those buttons, the like, the follow, the subscribe, all the buttons that help you out. And guys, listen, the message is going to be for the subscribers. It's something happened to me today, guys, on TikTok with the subscribers that's never happened before. It's wild, it's crazy. I don't know if the algorithm's changed or not. But anyway, guys, right, let me just jump up and I am going to come to all the comments on TikTok right now. Hello, good morning, everyone. Listen, guys, if you're watching and you've not done so already, please hit those buttons. Right, where are we? I'm just going to go down. Where are we? Good morning, Debbie1973. Morning, Jodie Lee. Morning, April. Dodds Bryce saying, let's go, Raven. Listen, let's go, because we are not going back. There ain't no going back, man. There ain't no going back. Right, we've achieved the live goal again, ladies and gentlemen. We've achieved the live goal. I don't know what the live goal is. I really don't know what the live goal is, guys. Listen, I just come on here to help as many as you as possible. Look, guys, we are preparing for a wartime scenario in the United Kingdom with councillors, local government who could not provide who could not organise something in a brewery. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Debbie Doobs is saying, morning all, how is everyone? I hope everyone is good this morning. Remember, guys, Armed Forces Day tomorrow. I am going to keep saying this. Be careful, be safe. Hold the people you love close, is Debbie Doof saying. Linda Lewis saying, morning, Sean. Is it me or have you frozen? I'm not frozen. I'm pretty hot this morning, guys. I'm pretty hot. Lots of energy. Only one caffeine. Oh, I've only had one coffee. Usually I need 6 or 7. But guys, look, I'm full of energy. I am stacked with energy this morning. Raven is toppers with energy. Yeah, so I don't know if it's just you that's frozen, Linda Lou. I think I'm streaming fine. The little hearts have been keep going. Did you see what's happened to that boy in the airport? The video is horrific. Cassie, no, I haven't. Cassie, please. Cassie, please, can you elaborate? Cassie is saying, did you see... Oh, fuck, hang on. Cassie is saying, did you see what happened to that little boy in the airport? No, I haven't. The video is horrific. Please share it if it's suitable for this platform. Yeah, otherwise your comment would get... censored. Debbie Doobs, everything we do in life is about the kids. Yes, it is, guys. It is about the kids. April Lee saying, I took my daughter to work in Notts yesterday and there were Palestine protesters out in the hospital, morning, Priv Carol, how are you? Jean Prothero as well. Hello, good morning to you, Jean Prothero. Natasha Louise is saying, lots of armed forces events over the weekend. My 3 teens are RAF cadets. Guys, listen, it is armed forces today, tomorrow. It is armed forces day. Let's all have a moment. Let's all have a moment and just consider. When the firemen want more money, who do they call? When the NHS are overwhelmed, who do they call? When the bin men are on strike, who do they call? Literally, when everything goes to pot, who do they call? They always call the military. Do you know why? Because they're dependable, they'll do the job and they'll get that done. Right now, guys, we have a scenario that we're heading towards, mainland UK, look, guys, this is not me speculating now. This is from the government. Have I still got the thing up? Yeah, in fact, where is it? Hang on. I can't remember where it is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The United Kingdom are now actively preparing for a wartime scenario. So that's it. And what I want to keep harping on to everybody is we have got people in local council who've never had a real job. Can you imagine that now? Right, John, Mary, Fred, Sue, I don't know, whoever the names are, these people running the local council. You need to put emergency plans in place. How do we do that? We need to have a committee. We need to have a talk. And these people on this committee, guys, look, okay, I'm a big fan of the military, all right? The military will always get the job done. Like, can you imagine in the military, like, people saying, oh, it's time for my break, it's time for my dinner, it's time for my lunch, oh, I'm going home at 5. That stuff does not happen in the military. If you've got tasks to do, you stay on that task and you complete it. Back in this is real, guys. This, I don't know if I can talk about this without getting into trouble. Not on the algorithm or anything, but yeah, it's been past 5 years, so I think I can talk about this. So back in the crazy times of like 2000 and 2006, 2007, 2008, around about like the late noughties. So in the late noughties, there was a lot of military joining, supporting police operations. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna tell you what those operations were, but there was a lot of military supporting police operations. Now, one of the reasons for the military supporting the police operations is because the police, if they like, imagine, and this happens, guys, right? Imagine the police are on like a stakeout. So they're in a bush somewhere with a long range scope, some special branch police, and it gets to 5:30. That's them done. They're off. They've been that task. And they're like, what? They're like, unless it comes through that they're getting paid overtime, they've been it. So you can imagine now, can't you, right? You know, look, guys, and I'm not throwing dirt on the police. They're just not as good as the military. I kind of is throwing dirt on them, isn't it? But like the police, they won't work into overtime if they're not getting paid. The military, so you can imagine now, you know, you've got a really bad man who's like, you know, he's doing bad stuff and the police are surveilling him and they've got like the long range scopes and they've got the little radios and the little sandwiches, you know. And then he's like, Dave, he's like, what, mate? He's like, it's 4:30. He's like, yeah, we'll get another hour and then we'll bin it. What if he moves just after 5:30? Well, unless I'm getting paid overtime, I'm going home. And that is what happens. The military guys, guess what? You put a military person on that same job, they will stay on that target, whether they're relieved, whether they're getting paid overtime or not. They're on that target until the tactical scenario says you leave that target. But anyway, guys, listen, I am a big, I'm a big fan of the military. I spent a lot of time in the military myself. I will always have good words to say for the military. And I will always defend them as well. Right, let's go, Raven. We keep saying, right, morning. Right, guys, there's quite a lot of comments. I do apologise if I missed anyone's. We know that my daughter's Nottingham pro-Palestine front. Morning, everyone. Armed forces events. Yeah, I'm rereading these. I saw an article, Linda Lou saying, I saw an article about Palestine actions are going to target military bases. Well, they already have targeted military bases, haven't they? They've already targeted military bases. But look, hang on, this is going to be very careful. I need to fact check this. Right. See, I heard, right, guys, I'm trying to find it now. If anybody can tell me where this article is. I'm sure I saw an article that said that Keir Starmer had, let me say, represents. I can't find it. I can't find it, guys. I can't find it. It must be the buried. It must either be buried or I didn't see it. But what? Okay, guys, I can't find this, so I must be making it up. But I'm sure I saw a video. It must be fake because honestly, guys, I can't find anything on the Google. I'm pretty sure I found an article that said Keir Starmer had represented them in his earlier years. But no, I don't. I can't find it, guys. Okay, it must be fake news. But anyway, look, guys. Okay, so it does turn out now that, like I said, I warned people on videos. I said, look, the likelihood of military bases being targeted is high. And then there's all people in the comments like, "Oh, Sean, if these protests get onto military bases, they'll just send all the lads." I was like, right, okay, you've probably not been on a military base. First of all, military bases at the weekend are, everybody's four sheets to the wind. Everybody goes home. Everybody's on leave. A lot of people are potentially inebriated. And that's just not how it happens. We've all seen the movies where somebody hits an alert button and it goes, and then like literally 30 seconds, well, like 10 seconds later, you get all these guys in like cladded armor running out of a door. How do you think that works, guys? Like, how do you think that works? Like, do you think they're just stood there waiting at the door constantly? No, of course not. Of course not. That is not how it works, guys. I understand how these processes work. I understand the security at bases. It's just going absolutely bonkers, guys, okay? But it does look like now military bases in the United Kingdom it does look like, and from what we're hearing in the chat, it does look like military bases are now fair game. Hang on, guys, I've just got a message. Hang on, guys. So hang on, right? This may be. Hang on, let me just open it. It is a little bit breaking news, but my internet's been so. I've got two routers, and sometimes I'm on the other. Right. I'm just reading this, guys. This is from 11 minutes past. So this is 3 minutes old. So breaking news, 3 minutes old, guys. Monzo is down. Banking app crashes, leaving hundreds of frustrated Brits unable to receive or send payments. Now, guys, look, I don't know if this is sabotage, or I don't know if maybe it's just third party. Maybe it's just third party, but it does look like bank payments are down. So shortly after 8:30 this morning, according to Down Detector, peaking over 400 reports of disruption, over 80% of those affected said they were experiencing problems with funds transfer, with 15% remaining unable to access their deposits. Wow. So 15% of those people were unable to access their money. So it does look like Monzo is down. I don't know what Monzo is, guys. I'm being told it's a banking app or something. I don't know what that is, but it does look like there's a banking outage at the moment. Look, ladies and gentlemen, what do I always say? What do I always say about these banking apps? These banking apps that stop working. Look when they stop working, guys, all right? They stop working at the end of the month. So the last working day of the month is normally when a lot of people get paid, right? So like at the end of the month, and it is Armed Forces Day tomorrow. So again, look, guys, I'm not saying this is a hack. All I'm saying is, if you want to attack somebody's banking system, the best time to do it is right at the end of the month or right at the beginning of the month, because that's when you change direct debits over. That's when you get paid. A lot of people will be getting paid the last Friday of the month. That's just how the systems work. And what happens is 95% of people, they will get paid on the last working day of the month. Then their money goes in the last working day of the month, and then the direct debits come out on the first working day of the next month. And that's just literally that is just how I would say over 90% of the population live. So if you want to have the maximum financial collateral and you wanted to do a hack, that's how you would go with it, guys. That is how you would go with it. Right, I'm going to, where are we, guys? I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Remember, guys, okay, the crux of this video is There's no going back. We ain't going back to 92, guys. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't happening. Not a chance. No way, Bob. We've passed. We've done. We've finished. Remember, this morning I woke up and I felt energized. I was ready. I was like 11 when she's ready to take on Vecna as she does the superhero dismount. I was like Jessica Ennis on her last 400 meters. I was like Tyson Fury when he got up after being knocked down by Deontay Wilder. I was full of energy. I was ready to say, not today. But right, let me go back. Let me get these comments. Well, right, guys, there's loads. I think there may even be too many comments on. There may even be too many comments on YouTube for me to get through. Monochrome is saying hello. Cryptic Demon is saying hello. Hello, Cryptic Demon. Although that sounds a little bit of an ominous name. Right, we've got Conan Taylor. We've got Creepy Queen is saying, back 2 years ago, it made no sense to me, but now, I think we're talking about what's happening. And then Matt Barr is saying, yeah, bring back the 90s. Weren't the 90s great, guys? Weren't the 90s great? Listen, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's significant to anyone, but I woke up this morning, I was energized, and I had that song in my head. I had a song in my head by, I forgot what they got, Smashing Pumpkins, Tonight. I don't know why. I just woke up, and that's all I could think about. It is a Friday, so maybe somebody's trying to tell me something is going to kick off tonight, guys. I don't know. Maybe it's a message from the other realm, from another universe. I swear, ever since 2000, the world has become more chaotic. Yes, it has. It has indeed become chaotic. Dizzy Doodle is saying, morning, I hope everybody has a great day. Monokrov is saying, Monokrov, that sounds like a Russian code name for something. But Monokrov is saying, managed to convince my relatives to start stocking up on water yesterday after reading about the news and then telling them that it's most likely scenarios out of it all. Yeah, it does, guys. Okay, well done. Look, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Where am I? Well, probably somewhere in the United Kingdom at the moment. Stacey Harris is saying morning from Glastonbury. He's at Glastonbury. I think that's how he's supposed to pronounce it, isn't it? Glastonbury. Look, guys, with Glastonbury, right, you do get a lot of, there will be a lot of people today in Glastonbury waving the Palestinian flags. But, if they're all for freedom and unity, why does Glastonbury look like a demilitarized zone with huge, have you seen how they've done the security in Glastonbury, guys? I don't know if you have. I know a lot of you, the other day we was talking about how you conduct security. We was talking about how you need that dead ground in the middle. So you have a fence, you have a gap, then you have another fence. So that fence in the middle, that's to catch people. That's literally what it's for. And look how they've done the security at Glastonbury, guys. It's almost as if somebody knows what they're doing. Why don't we just get the people who are doing Glastonbury to do border security in the United Kingdom? I don't know, guys. Maybe that's controversial. But it does look like the news this morning, or I think yesterday, was that the news this morning or last night, I can't remember, was that Vladimir Putin, this was on the news, guys, it's not me saying, the news was on the mainstream in the United Kingdom that the Russians are flooding the shores of the United Kingdom with migrants. Now, guys, listen. Let's just pretend that this is true. This is total conspiracy for the TikTok algorithm, guys. This is conspiracy. This is not true. This is just a little bit of entertainment, okay, guys? So, and we will be talking, guys, we are going to have an adult conversation over on YouTube when this live stream's finished, because something happened to me today on the TikTok. It's never happened before. So it's going to be important for people to jump over, and you'll see why when we jump over. Sorry, I heard a helicopter. It sounded like a Chinook, but I couldn't see it. Right, I can't remember what I was talking about. Anyway, there was a helicopter flying over. It was a big one. I thought it was a Chinook. I didn't get to visually confirm it, so it may or may not have been. Monochrome again is saying, British police in all due sense is severely demoralised, understaffed, and full of incompetent people. Right now, it's a deeply corrupt and inept institution. Yeah, look, guys, like, I don't know if you drive like late at night. I don't know if you guys drive late at night. But Sarah had to go out the other night, and she got back. She said, Sean, I said, what? She said, it's just a different world at night. I said, what do you mean? Anyway, she was telling me some of the things that she saw on the streets at night, and I was like, give over. I mean, honestly, guys, we have the gate locked, and you know, we're all sleeping at nights by, like, you know, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We are sleeping at nights. But she had to go out late. A bit of a family emergency, but it's nothing major. She got back and she was like, I can't believe how, like, what it's like at night time. And she was telling me some of the things, and it's just unbelievable. I said, well, was there any police? She said, no, I didn't hear one police siren or see one police car. And, you know, if we're talking about the police service in the United Kingdom, yeah, I would say, you know, what police service? Silly Galani over on YouTube is saying, why is the Pro Palace going against UK bases? I don't know, Silly Galani. I don't know why they're going against UK bases. Maybe just because they can. Maybe because we are a heavily, Maybe because we are a heavily subverted country. Maybe because we have been demoralized. Maybe because we are being destabilized. You know, I wish I had the answer to that. You know, I really do. One of the many reasons to always pay out a small amount of your cash from your bank account each day. Yeah, I think we're talking there about the so the banking apps have gone down in the UK, guys. Okay, banking apps have gone down in the UK, and Coastal Countryside is saying, I was saying to the missus, should find out who does the fences for Glastonbury and set up a GoFundMe for them to fence off the beaches. Yeah, guys, look, I don't know if you've seen the, Creepy Queen. Right, Creepy Queen is saying it keeps blocking my message. Right, sorry, Creepy Queen. I will have a look on your TikTok message in a minute. But listen, guys, okay, I woke up this morning with a new lease of energy, guys. I did. I woke up with a new lease of energy. Things have happened on my TikTok account that have never happened before, and it is going to affect the subscribers. Right, so let me jump up, guys. Let me jump up and get these comments on TikTok. Right, Kaz is saying, what have I missed? Kaz, we have been talking today, and I want to get this through now to, like, we're all looking and we all want to go back. I want to go back more than anyone, guys. I really do. I want to go back to night. Listen, guys, okay, I'm gonna be quite open and vulnerable with you guys now. I woke up this morning and I just wanted to go back to 1992. On a Saturday, at my nan and granddad's, and they're having a barbecue, and I've just gone to the shop with my granddad, and he's just asked me if I want some cans of Coke, and he bought me 4 cans of Coke, and I was like, wow, 4 cans of Coke, all for me. And then we went back, and it was just beautiful, guys. It was beautiful. But we ain't going back to that now, guys. We ain't going back. We've got to look forwards. We've got to move forwards. We've got to push, drive, succeed, and just say, look, we may collapse, we may fall, but not today. We all need to do things for each other. But anyway, guys, I managed to say that without bursting out into tears. But anyway, right, I'm just going to jump up and get some more comments. And it is Armed Forces Day tomorrow, guys. It is Armed Forces Day tomorrow. People, there's lots of articles now about Palestine action targeting military bases. So do we think there's a likelihood of pro-Palestine Palestine action targeting the military on these on Armed Forces Day tomorrow? I would say yes. But equally, I don't know, because I know those places will be heavily policed. Moscow Airport, a man slammed an 18-year-old to the ground. Right, let me have a look at this. Was it like this? Look, don't mess about in Moscow Airport. That's what I say. Oh, are we talking about the man attacks toddler? Wow. Let me look at this. Right, I certainly look, guys. I'm looking at this video now. I cannot talk about this video on. Wow, there we are, guys. There, Cassie. I'm looking at the video now. I'm looking at the video now, Cassie. Wow. Yeah, there we go, guys. Cassie, I won't be able to talk about that video on this platform, unfortunately. It will get the live. It will get the live stop. But guys, look what Cassie's talking about, and we will talk about. I'll mention this a little bit on YouTube afterwards. But right, let me jump up and get these comments. Linda Lou is saying, I lived in a cul-de-sac. We all got on except, I'm just going to pin that, Linda Lou, because I'm really cautious now that my channel on TikTok is being swizzled. Gemini Blessing is saying, good morning all. Sharon Owen is saying, have a look on flight radar. A helicopter over Sheffield, a Robinson 44, Raven 1. Yeah, no, it's R44 is Robinson. Raven 1 Strange. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that the helicopter call signs Raven 1? Or is that what the company's called? I don't know what that means. I don't have flight radar, guys. I don't have it on my computer. It's on my tablet upstairs. April Lee is saying, I want to go back for a long weekend to see all my family together. Oh, April, don't. April, stop it. You're going to make me cry. You are going to make me cry, April. That's what I woke up thinking about this morning, guys. I did, thinking about times at my nan and granddad's. It was, but there's no going back. We've got our own families now. We're the adults. We've got to look forward and we've got to give them memories. Linda Lewis saying, I want to go back to 77. It was the best year of my life. Right, I'm jumping down. April Lee saying, yes, awful and unimaginable. We're talking about the video from Moscow Airport. That's all I'm going to say, guys. The video from Moscow Airport, guys. That's all I'm talking about. I'm going to mention that. Linda Lewis saying, I don't blame you for being cautious yet, guys. Listen, I'm going to be really cautious this morning. I'm going to be really cautious from now on. I'm getting a lot of restrictions on my videos. I'm going to talk about this later. But I've been watching some lives, guys, right? And not like watching them, but you know when you just look at them for a bit and you're like, right, okay. And some of them, it seems like, to me anyway, it seems like blatantly selling stuff that you shouldn't be is totally fine. It's totally fine if you want to blatantly sell stuff that you shouldn't. If you want to be like, and show like borderline nudity to the state of like, how is this not getting reported? Because this is definitely beyond the community guidelines. Like, that sort of stuff seems okay. But if you mention, like, keywords that is the truth, video ban, blocked, restriction, you're not playing, and then all the rest of your videos get banned. So look, guys, you'll understand why. You will understand why I can't talk about this on TikTok when we go over to YouTube and talk about it on YouTube. Can you explain the 1 in 1 out deal with France? Debbie Doobs, I wish I could explain the 1 in 1 out deal with France, but I really can't. I think they're saying for every migrant that leaves, we'll accept a migrant. But who's paying attention to this? Like, does that mean that all the migrants? How does it even work? How does it work, guys? Where we can secure we can secure a field we can secure a field in Glastonbury, but we can't secure our own borders. And we've got Keir Starmer coming. Look, guys. And we do have a situation, and it's, and what he's saying is true, but the credibility behind that truth is unbelievable. So we've got a situation now where we've got our leader, Keir Starmer, the leader, the chief, the guy in charge. He comes up and he's saying, we need to secure our country. We've got to secure our country. We've got to make our country secure. But all the time, we can't secure it from rubber dinghies. So why are we spending millions and millions and millions on F-35s? Look, guys, and I will be quite clear, I'm not a fan of the F-35. I'm not a fan of the F-35. If it was me and I was in charge of procurement, I would say, look, we either buy, well, I would just buy a fleet of F-18s. I don't think there's any such thing as stealth. When these aircraft are used, when they go, let me Google this and make sure I'm right. So my understanding of stealth is the stealth paint, that paint that's on top of the aircraft that gives it its stealth ability. When the aircraft goes above a certain speed, that paint will crumble off. So let me just do a quick check on this. I'm pretty sure I'm right with that. I'm right. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true that stealth coatings on aircraft degrade at high speed due to factors like friction, aerodynamic forces, and extreme temperatures. While the exact formulation is classified, it's known that these coatings will absorb radar signals, are susceptible to the damage of the heart. Yeah, so basically, like, again, I'm not a fan of stealth. I'm not, guys. I'm not a fan of stealth. I don't think it really works in the real world. But we're spending all this money for these stealth aircraft. If they go fast, they're not stealth. You see where we're going there? You see the problems? So for me, what's the point in having the stealth in the first place? You might as well just say, yeah, we're here. We're coming with a load of heavy stuff and we're going to come back a lot lighter. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of stealth, guys, okay? However, I am a big fan of the B-2 bomber. I mean, that thing is, the engineering behind the B-2 bomber, guys, is absolutely phenomenal. It's like, it really is a work of art. It's beautiful as well. Anyway, guys, let me jump up and get the rest of these comments. So I am being cautious, ladies and gentlemen. Look, guys, and some breaking news on from a couple of minutes ago. Banking down. Let me just check this. Yeah, so it's out now in the, so Monzo, who does Monzo banking, guys? But apparently, Monzo is down, online banking app, Monzo, I don't know who they do, let me have a look. Bank troubles, Monzo down as online banking app customers unable to send or receive payments. So remember, guys, all right, what do I always say about banking? Any cyber attack, now this is just in general, guys. There's nothing to do with that, although it might be, but I don't know. Any cyber attack, guys, any cyber attacks, the golden standard for a cyber attack is to cause a banking run, actually, or cause a financial crisis. So Monzo is down, guys. Online banking app customers unable to send or receive money. I don't know who Monzo is, but apparently that banking app is down. I don't know whether that is a third-party app and other banks follow suit. I don't know. But that is happening right now, guys. Listen, it is Friday. It's Friday. Crazy things happen on a Friday. Remember, Armed Forces Day tomorrow. So we would assume that there's going to be lots of armed forces out on the streets. And we know now that the Palestine Action Group are targeting military bases. Now, I don't know if you guys want to put 2 and 2 together or not. It's entirely up to you. I'm not going to say anything on TikTok to go against the algorithm. Debbie Doobs, I don't know what Monzo is. I really don't know what Monzo is. It's an online banking app, as I understand it. It may be an online bank. I don't know. Yeah, sorry guys, I was just checking something. Right, so if you guys are just joining for the first time and you've not seen my video that I dropped earlier, and now I know my videos are being restricted, guys, I really do, and I'm going to talk about this later on. YouTube. So where do we go with this? So they're talking now. Let me get the headline up. Actually, I'll get the headline up so I can't be done for fake news or anything. Right. So this is an article from yesterday, from the Daily Mail. So from the Mail Online. I'm going to read you the headline and then we're going to talk about it. So Putin, in fact, let me get two headlines up actually. Let me get two headlines up. I'm going to come after one after another. That one will do. Right, so I've got two headlines here, guys. All right, I'm just gonna read you these headlines now. So the first headline is Putin is pushing migrants to Britain in an attempt to overwhelm borders, insiders claim. So this is the article, guys. Now I'm literally reading you the article, so this can't be done as fake news. I'm literally reading this article, okay? Russia is aggravating Britain's migrant crisis to overwhelm border defences and sow division in the nation, security sources have claimed. Vladimir Putin's government is believed to be providing fake documents, transfer, and even military escorts to smuggling gangs ferrying migrants across the channel. So we'll just leave it there, guys, right? Without me going through the whole article, we'll leave that there. Just keep that one thing in your mind. If that's happening or not, guys, obviously I don't know. I could speculate. I'll speculate a little bit more on YouTube. But the next thing I just want to bring you to is, guys, bring your attention to, guys, right? Is like, if they're doing that, why are they doing that? You see where I'm going with that, guys, okay? If that is happening, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying this is what the article is saying. If that is happening, why? And do we think that this could happen, guys, okay? Do we think this could happen? Do we think it could be a scenario somewhere? And I don't know. I'm asking a question, right? I'm asking a question. Do we think that at some point in that development where you're getting people from location X and they need to end up in location Y, do we think that anywhere along that travel they could say to those people, right, listen, we're really looking after you here. We're giving you a better life. You're going to have a better life. It's going to be real good for you. You're going to be in a 4-star hotel. You're going to get money every day. You're going to get a nice little job with Deliveroo or whoever. What I want you to do is, on this day, at this time, at this place, I want you to go and set a fire. I don't know. Maybe that's happening. Maybe that is total conspiracy. But how likely do you think that is, guys? How likely do you think that is, guys? You know, like, how likely do you think that is? You know, I would say that is, well, I'm not even going to say what that is, guys, you know, but that is the reality of that situation, all right? Putin is pushing migrants to, I don't think he's doing it himself. He's not there, is he? Yori, bring more dinghy. Well, but Vladimir, we have no dinghy left. We'll make wooden boat. We can make raft like we do in Russia in old time. Vladimir, why are you on your horse with no shirt? Because I'm very strong man and I'm on horse with no shirt on now. I'm going fishing as well. Right, Vladimir, we need to push these migrants, Vladimir. We need to push these migrants. No, I can't. I'm getting photo opportunity on horse. Right, sorry, my camera's right. I need my camera to refocus. But anyway, guys, you know. Now, another article that I'm going to read to you guys. Again, listen, I am reading these articles now, and I have to be very clear with this, guys, because I'm really cautious that I'm on a very fine line at the moment. I don't want to get the live ban. So I'm going to read you another article now, guys, and this is from the Metro, Le Metro. And this was published on the 25th of June. So if you guys want to go check that article out, you too. Sleeper cells are lurking in the UK. Experts reveal. How worried should we be? An underground of Iranian sleeper cells pose an unlikely but credible threat to the UK. Defence and security experts have told the Metro. I wonder who these are. Let me try and find out if I can find the... So Luke Aylesford wrote this article, but it's not going to tell you who the security experts are. I don't know who they are. But anyway, the warning comes as British Iranians told us efforts to recruit them are commonplace when they visit Iran. Who knows, guys? Listen, I'm just reading this article. Okay? I am just reading this article now. What I have said, now that's what, I'll read you that again, actually. So, a warning comes as British Iranians told us efforts to recruit them are commonplace when they visit Iran. So what I've also said about people like Eastern Europeans. Now, we've seen this in the United Kingdom where, let me find this, because guys, listen, I'm very cautious about what I'm saying here, because I am cautious about these videos getting taken down and the live stream getting pulled. So give me a second, guys. I'm going to find this because they did come out on the mainstream. Right, so here it was, guys. So on the 12th of May, so this is an article, guys, okay, this is an article from The Guardian. 6 Bulgarians jailed after spying for Russia in the United Kingdom. I'm just going to leave it there, guys, okay? 6 Bulgarians, that's an article from The Guardian. So what I've always said is, like, where people think that, like, you know, spies and insurgency and, you know, and all this, like, cloak and dagger espionage, you know, we all have this image, don't we, of, like, of Daniel Craig looking fantastic in a Tom Ford suit. Listen, and I've no doubt that, like, although I've never seen an MI6 guys who look so fantastic in a Tom Ford suit. And listen, guys, I'll own that. I mean, Daniel Craig looks fantastic in his Tom Ford suit. So we all have this image, don't we, of this, like, sophisticated guy with his glasses on, and, you know, he's winning everything. He's drinking his vodka martinis. But the reality is, a lot of this is done at home. So, like in this case here, I have to keep saying this, guys, it's been reported in the Guardian, 6 Bulgarians jailed after spying for Russia in the UK. If you can recruit these people in their home countries, like, you know, like we've just heard there about the sleeper cells, that Iranian men are, let me just read that again because I need to be clear, from an article listen how I have to talk, guys, to cover myself. So from an article from the Metro, warning comes as British Iranians told us efforts to recruit them are commonplace when they visit Iran. So now you can see this recruiting in those home countries. Once you recruit them in their home, once you recruit in that home country, there's no electronic trace. There's no communications. There's no finance, money being changed hands, because it's all done there. So then they come to whatever country they're going to. They're a spy. Right now, they're a spy. They are a spy. They probably don't know it themselves because the way they've been brought into this. Oh, do you know what? My sister used to work for a company. Yeah, no, it was a really bad company. I'd love to do something against that company. Oh, yeah. Tell you what. You know, the next time you're in that country, tell you what. I would give you £5,000 if you go and put a hole in this pipe at this specific time, though. It has to be at this specific time on this specific date. Has to be then. Yeah. Or go and set fire to something. That's how it works, guys. That's how it actually works. You don't have, like, James Bond with his little watch thing with his grappling hook and his exploding toothpaste. It just doesn't happen. Although maybe it does, but I've never witnessed it. But anyway, guys, okay. So I'll continue. So we've got this scenario now out in the mainstream in the United Kingdom, whereby we've got Putin pushing migrants, and this is what they're talking about on the mainstream. I'm not saying that, guys. I'm not saying that. That would be conspiracy. But from the mainstream, that's what they're saying, that Putin's pushing these migrants. And then we've got another article talking about sleeper cells. Now, you've got to have a look at the relationships, the geopolitical relationships now between Russia and Iran. They've got a commercial relationship. They've got a military relationship. They've got a strategic relationship. They have got a strategic relationship, guys, because there are Russians now in Iran working on operating their nuclear power plants in Iran. And again, guys, listen, if you think there's any problems with that, that is totally up to you, and you are a conspiracy theorist. But anyway, let me jump onto the comments. Where am I going first? I'm going to jump onto YouTube now, guys. I'm going to go give some YouTube comments. Pangea Prime over on YouTube, and look, ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic name Pangea Prime is. I feel like Pangea Prime may be able to rescue us from the depths of humanity. I hope Pangea Prime is mates with Optimus Prime. But anyway, Pangea Prime is saying, don't tell the truth. The government don't like that. Also, what's your thoughts on Labour? Is there going to be a general election again? There have been talks of, yeah. So what's my thoughts on Labour? So my thoughts on Labour is like my thoughts on any political party, guys, okay? They will say what they want to get elected, then do what they're told when they're elected. And honestly, guys, like, whether it was Labour or Conservatives, I still think we'd be heading in the same way. I do. Whether it's Labour, Conservatives, Reform, Green Party, we would still be heading in the same direction right now. You know, for example, you know, we've got. I was going to say, what's her name? What's her name with the big trousers? Oh, I can't remember what her name is with the big trousers. Angela Rayner. We've got Angela Rayner, right? I'm not going to do the impression, guys, but we've got Angela Rayner now saying that she's protecting jobs of working people and giving them a pay rise. That's what she's saying, while she's literally destroying jobs for working people. You see where we're going with that, guys? That is literally what's happening. Now, we know this. We know this is true because in May of this year, there was over 100,000 less jobs available in the United Kingdom. That's a massive drop, guys, all right? So now, because those jobs are unavailable, that's like double the effect, guys, okay? Just think about it. So because there's 100,000 jobs not available, that means 100,000 people are over 100,000 people are out of work, but there's also 100,000 less jobs. So it's having a double effect. You see where I'm going with that, guys? Now we're having more people searching for less jobs. We're just rocketing downwards. And my sister, do you know what? I went with my sister the other day to pick that roof tent up, and I don't know if she's watching. I don't know if she's. But I went with my sister the other day to pick that roof tent up, and we were just driving, and you know, she said. She said, yeah, it's like really hard to employ people now. And it's like, you know, there's like hardly any jobs. And like, she's saying people are really struggling. I said, I know, it's bad, isn't it? She says, yeah. And I think it's just going to get worse. I say, it probably is, to be honest. And I said, well, listen, you can join the army. I think they're going to give you 10 grand to join up. And she just started laughing. I said, what's wrong? She said, well, they've made everyone unemployed, and now they're giving well, again, guys, listen, it's speculative. They're talking about a £10,000 incentive for people to join the military. And then she says it's like they almost want people to join the military now. It's like this was all planned to. Again, guys, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it's like. In fact, you know what? I'm asking a question, and for the algorithm, this is conspiracy. What I'm saying is all fake. What I'm saying is all fake right now, guys. But it is like on purpose. The government destroy jobs and then make it very attractive to join the military. Guys, look, what did I say months and months and months ago? I thought I did the analysis in my head. I said, right, mid to late June, you're going to start to see this military recruitment, the drive, the beginnings of the military recruitment. And now it turns out that the conversation in Parliament, in government is, do you know what? We might as well give people a 10 grand incentive to join the military. And that's when, Gemini Blessing saying, do the impression. Gemini Blessing, I'm not doing any impression for you. Do you know why? Because I've just bought 2 new blouses. No, I didn't even spend my own money. Lord Ali given me. He said, Angela, sign this bit of paper. I said, what's on it, Lord Ali? He said, don't worry, Angela. He said, don't worry, Angela, just sign it. Look at these trousers. And I couldn't help it, Gemini Blessing. They were a really good colour. It were a new colour. I've never heard of it before. It's called turquoise. Yeah, turquoise. It's like green and blue. I said to him, Lord Ali, I'm not educated, me, but I'll sign out for a pair of trousers. And I just signed it, and he gave me trousers. It's proper right good, this job. But yeah, that's Angela Rayner, guys. That's Angela Rayner. I can't do it all day. I feel like I'm doing people a disservice. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I was talking about with my sister, with the jobs and with the community, with Labour destroying jobs. But guys, look, I do think it would be going like the same direction, regardless who was in charge, guys. You know, I do feel it'd be going the same direction. Paul Sullivan on YouTube, mate, that reform dude said today, sick people are scroungers, and some dude yesterday said on TV he would starve people off benefits. This is 2025, not 1625. So I do think there are, okay, so I do think there are a lot of people, for example, guys, right? For example, if you come to this country, if I'm asking a question, if you come to this country as a refugee, all right, and you're fleeing a war, and the war's been so terrible, do you think you'd qualify for some sort of mental health disability benefit? Do you think you'd qualify for that? And how many people, and I'm not saying anything, guys, I'm just asking a question. Like, and how many people do you think fleeing these wars will be saying, I've got mental health problems, I can't work because I fled the war in France and it was so terrible. And look, guys, and if that's true, then, you know, of course, the British Health Service, you know, the National Health Service should look after it. Do you know what? I think we should recall the National Health Service. We should probably call it the International Health Service. You know, if you've got a problem or an ailment, come to Britain, we'll treat you. But who pays for it, Raven? The taxpayers will pay for that. Come to Britain, guys. We'll fix all your ailments. But yeah, so I you know, where Paul Sullivan is saying that sick people are, yeah. So I don't think. Okay, so yeah. So let's be clear. Sick people, genuinely sick people, should be looked after. It's, you know, it's what we do in the Western world. Strong people look after the weak. That is just the way it goes, guys, and that's the way it should always go. The problem here is, I think, you know, that the system has become too liberal. Like, I heard a statistic that hang on, let me find this, because I need to fact check this, because you'll understand why, guys, in a minute, guys. Okay, right, let me jump up. Yeah, so here we are, guys. Right, so this is an article from. You see, I'm having to fact check everything, guys. You'll understand in a minute when I talk about this on YouTube. So we're talking about the amount of money that is spent on welfare in the United Kingdom. So this is an article from. Hang on. Hang on, there's a paywall. I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for it. Right. So this is an article from Bloomberg on the 7th of May. Motability bought 1 of every 5 new cars sold in the UK last year. And yet they only serve a very specific type of customer. So as I understand it, Motability are people with people who have some sort of disability, whether that's mental health, whether that is an actual, you know, they're missing something, you know, and they're classed as disabled. But 1 in 5 new cars in 2025 was bought. 1 in 5 new cars was bought by the government for people claiming some sort of benefits. Now, is that sustainable, guys? Is that sustainable? Like, should that be a thing? I don't know. Maybe it should be a thing. Maybe it should be, you know, maybe we should be more. Maybe we should give new cars to everyone. Everyone should have a new car. I want new cars for everyone. And you know what? While we're at it, £1 million in everybody's bank account. £1 billion for everyone. Everyone a billionaire in the United Kingdom. But yeah, so I do get the welfare, the problems with the welfare system. I do get that people are abusing it, but the problem is, like anything, guys. Okay, when people abuse the system, it gets to a certain stage, they close that down, and then it's the genuine people who genuinely need that support. They're the ones who suffer, unfortunately. Right, I'm just going to get these last comments on TikTok, guys, and then I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Coral reefing, yes, that is correct. Coral reefing, that is true. What coral reefing there is saying is absolutely correct, and I'm going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that later. Right, let me jump up. Jump up. UK households due to get booklets and guidelines to prepare. Right, I need to Google this. I need to check this. Wow. Yeah, it is. It's true, guys. It's true. So an article of, oh, hang on. Oh, no, it says UK urged to issue. Right, okay. So the UK is being urged to issue World War III survival guide. From everything, rations to nuclear hotspots and Armageddon Day. Is that what we're calling it now, guys? Armageddon. For those of you guys who don't know, Armageddon, or the Battle of Armageddon, is from Mount Armageddon, I think, which is in modern day Israel. Countries including Sweden, Finland, and Finland. That's a new country, guys. Finland. It's very close to Finland. So countries including Sweden, Finland, Norway are handing out pamphlets advising citizens on how to survive a potential nuclear attack. And now an expert has urged, I wonder who these experts are. There's a lot of experts, isn't there, to do the same. I mean, I wonder who's going to write that and what competency they have. Look, guys, I think this brings me on to what I previously was talking about, something I was previously talking about in the UK, how we're heading to these crazy times in the UK, and we've got like a not political class. We've got like, let's just think about the time, the crazy times in 2000 and like 2019, 2021. We had local governments making decisions that they were wholly unqualified to make. I've said this many times, guys, all right? People in local council, local government, if you're not from the United Kingdom, they are not equipped. They don't have the capacity to work in a high-stress environment. They don't have the capacity to work in a high-dynamic environment. Give me a second, guys. Hello? Where? Yeah, but is it like reduced? Is it reduced, or is it actually the price? And what is it? How cheap's cheap? Guys, listen, just for context, it's my sister telling me that there's some cheap chicken in a shop, all right? So just give me a second, because I'm all about the cheap chicken. Go on. Hang on, I'll put her on loudspeaker. Go on, you're on loudspeaker. She's hung up! She's hung up! Oh, I can't believe she's hung up. She was embarrassed. But she was telling me there's some cheap chicken somewhere, guys, and it's going cheap. I don't know where it is, but listen, in our family, when there's a good bargain somewhere, where there's a bit of cheapness going around, we're all talking about it, and we're all getting down there and getting it in our freezers. And you should do that too. She's just sent me a message now. Hang on. She says, don't get me involved in your TikToks. I said, okay, right. Well, listen, guys, I wanted you I wanted you lot to be in on the scam as well. Like, if there's cheap chicken going somewhere, I don't even know where it is, guys. At some point, I may have to cut this live short to go and get my cheap chicken. But anyway, guys, listen, let's get the rest of these comments. Linda Lou is saying, Sean, a vet on Facebook, is getting together with farmers to teach people how to prep. That is fantastic. Do you know what? That is fantastic. Look, guys, when we all talk about look, guys, I am 100% not the person you need to follow, like for like prepping tips and stuff. I don't know how to go out into the woods and like make a fire. If anybody thinks that you can go out into the woods and make a fire with like rubbing sticks together, forget about it, guys. I've literally done that in Kenya when the wood's dry. You've got all the equipment there. It's virtually impossible, guys. It's borderline impossible to do that. So, I will go with something like, I always talk about urban survival. And I would say I've got a lot of knowledge with like the thing urban survival. So urban survival would be how to operate if you have to move your, like, for example, remember when when there was an incident in Sheffield, there was a guy in an apartment block. He was going crazy. There was armed police everywhere. The whole city got closed down. This is what I talk about, urban survival. So those people from that block of flats had to get moved to the local leisure centre, which was Pun's Forge, I think it was called Pun's Forge. So that's kind of the urban survival thing we're talking about. They're the most likely things that are going to happen to you, your family, your friends, your mum, your dad, your nan, your auntie, your uncle, your sister if she listens to you, your cat, your dog. They're the things that you need to talk about, guys, right? But sorry, going back. With this prepping stuff, right? The best thing to do is farming. It literally is, guys. Like, there's only so many tins of beans you can keep under your bed. There's only so much water you can keep in your cupboards. Ultimately, everybody should know how to like grow their own food. Again, we haven't done it this year. Last year we did tomatoes. It was an epic fail, guys. It was so embarrassing. Epic fail on the tomatoes, guys. It really was. This year we was going to do potatoes again, but we've just been too busy to do it. But yeah, farming, growing your own food, guys. Like, everybody should do that. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get to the last few comments, and then I'm going to jump over to YouTube, guys. All right. I would appreciate it if as many of you subscribers or anyone actually jumps over to YouTube, because I am going to talk about something that happened to TikTok, happened to me on TikTok, and it's never happened before, and I'll talk about it more when we go on to YouTube, guys. I will. But right, let me jump down and get the last ones of these comments. Daniel Payne is saying, rumours are we are going to get a cheap... sorry, I'm reading two comments here. Rumours are we are going to get a war manual. I wonder who's going to write that. Listen, guys, it's going to be a generic war manual. I will go through that with you guys. I will go through it with you when we get that, and I'll let you guys know what I think is relevant and what I think is not relevant. Remember, when you write these manuals, I've done it myself, you have to write that manual as broad to help as many people as possible. And look, guys, if you're watching this channel, I would speculate that if you're watching this channel, we've probably talked about this. We've probably gone through everything that's going to be in that war manual. Linda Lewis saying, my cheap chicken is running around in the garden. When we did some jungle training in the army. So we did some jungle training in the army, and we got given between four, we got given a chicken, and they said right, I need to be careful with this, guys. Okay, so we got given a chicken, all right, and they said right, look after that chicken, and it'll give you an egg a day, one egg a day. So right, yeah. So got it, made a little hutch for it, named it, nurtured it, and that's what the instructors were telling. Make sure you show the chicken a lot of affection, and and look after it, because if it's not a happy chicken, it won't lay eggs. Anyway, so our little fire team were looking after this chicken. We made a little hutch for it, made a little run, was feeding it. Just wasn't laying anything. Wouldn't lay any eggs. Anyway, after a week or 10 days, the main instructor, he came up, he said, right, whose chicken's laying eggs? And nobody's chickens were laying eggs. So guess what happened to those chickens? Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to continue. I'm just going to leave it there because I don't want to get the thing banned. Right, where are we, guys? Where are we? Yeah, we've done that. Talked about the chicken. Four Paws is saying David Lammy. All right, let me just Google David Lammy. Four Paws. Let's see what David Lammy's done. I love David Lammy. He is the gift that keeps giving. No, I can't. There's no news about David Lammy, guys. There's no news about David Lammy. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, right. Okay, right, yeah. So four polls are saying David Lammy will write the war memorial. Yeah. Memorial memoir. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, I'm going to jump over to YouTube now, guys. I'm going to close this one down on TikTok. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Please join me on YouTube, guys, okay? The Real Raven one on YouTube, guys, exactly the same. The link is in the bio if you can't find it. All the videos are uploaded to YouTube anyway. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to try and get back on tonight, guys, okay? It's been difficult. We've had internet. We've got problems with the internet. But I am going to jump on. First of all, I'm going to learn how to talk, but I'm going to try and jump on later on tonight, guys. 8 o'clock, I hope. Anyway, guys, listen, I will see you over on the other one. Let me close that down. Oh, no, I can't. Have I done? Am I on? No, I'm still on. I'm still on. I'm still on. Am I off? Am I still streaming? I think we're off. No, we're still on. I guess we're still on. We're still going to be on. We are still on. Do you know what, guys? We're still streaming. Right, how do I turn this off? I click that one. That one. Oh, there we are. Right, so we are just streaming on YouTube now. Right, guys, so I do the videos on TikTok for subscribers. And normally in those subscribers videos, I can be a little bit more open with what I'm saying and what I'm talking about on those subscribers videos. Now, this morning I did a subscribers video, and I'm going to play it for you in a minute. I'll play you this video in a minute. And I've never had this before, but the algorithm blocked the video, and it disqualified the video for misinformation. It's never happened before, so I don't know if they're changing the algorithm. I don't know if they're changing the TikTok algorithm or not. I genuinely don't know, guys. But listen, let me show you the video. You can listen to the video now and tell me what you think. Let me just get this open. Wow, that is cheap. She just sent me a load of pictures of that chicken. Where want to do it? That one. Right. So this video got disqualified. Okay, and I'm just gonna play it to you. Right. I'm gonna play you this video, guys, and let me know if you think this video it got disqualified for misinformation. So I'm gonna play this now, guys, and let me know if you think this is misinformation. Hey everyone, so a couple of bits of news that have come out this morning with regards to Russia. Putin is supposed to be pushing these migrants in, and then the experts are warning that sleeper cells are already in the United Kingdom. Look, guys, it doesn't take the brains of Einstein to put two and two together here and realize what's going on. If you say this like a year ago, you are a conspiracy theorist. Literally, guys, if you say this a year ago, you are a legit conspiracy theorist. Your videos get taken down, and that's just it. You're a conspiracy theorist. Turns out, a year later, mainstream media are talking about it, and it just seems to be like in the open now. But listen, guys, I don't think anybody's under any illusion now what's happening to the United Kingdom. What's already happened, I would say. I would say we're already at that critical mass, guys. Really, you just need to walk around your towns, your high streets. I mean, again, I've said it a couple of times, guys. I was walking around Sheffield the other day, and it was just not the Sheffield I remember. But anyway, look, guys, this is here now. This is happening. These things are really happening. Just be careful, okay, guys? Make sure you've got that plan. Hibernate, evacuate, relocate. All those things, guys, okay? Sorry, hibernate, relocate, evacuate. Sorry, guys, I said that the wrong way. Listen, we are heading towards these things now. And the more these things come out on the mainstream, if you understand, or if you believe that the mainstream is heavily controlled by the government, then when these things are released on the mainstream, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to happen.
even though we've been talking about this for over a year, once it gets released on the mainstream, it's got the likelihood of those things happening are ridiculous. And it's kind of like that warning that said, oh, yes, well, we told you this would happen. Yeah, we've been saying this for over a year. Well, if we said it a year ago, we would get closed down as conspiracy theorists. Anyway, guys, listen, I just thought I'd do this as a subscribers video because you guys are absolutely fantastic. Got quite a few new subscribers, guys. Listen, throw comments, make sure you comment.
So that is the video that got taken down this morning for misinformation. It's never happened to me before with the subscribers video, guys. Never happened to me before with the subscribers video. And if you listen to that video, like I listened back to it and I thought there's no misinformation there. What I'm doing is on that video, I'm talking about things that are happening on like, literally, I went with mainstream media. I went with the mainstream media. I just went a little bit more in depth, but it's never happened to me before, guys, with a subscribers video. So, you know, I think I'm going to have to be a lot more careful now when I'm doing those subscribers videos, because, again, there must have been a change. There must have been an update to the algorithm, because normally, in fact, it's never happened to me before, guys. All right. It's never happened to me before. All my videos from today have got like they're in the, like hardly any views. So I don't know what's happening here, guys. I really don't know what's happening. It may just be, I don't know. But whatever, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I guess we're on 2 platforms now. I really need to get that streaming on X, don't I? So we can, like, you know, we can stream on all different platforms. But I just want to show you guys, and that's the reason I couldn't do that on, I couldn't obviously show you guys that video on TikTok and say, look what, you know, look at this, look what's happening on TikTok. Hang on. Yeah. So I couldn't obviously share that video on, I couldn't obviously share that video on TikTok for obvious reasons. But guys, listen, you know, it is really important that you share and click all the buttons on all the platforms now, because I do think that as we're moving forwards and just look at these headlines, guys. All right. So I'm going to give you these headlines, right? So Putin is pushing migrants to Britain. What do we think that's going to happen there? I mean, do we think when they're pushing it, and again, maybe it's fake news, but if it's true, do we think that if he's pushing these migrants into Britain, do we think he's pushing them for a reason? Or do you think he's just saying, oh, go over there and have a nice time? Or do you think he's saying, go over there and be part of my subversion plan? When these things happen and they're so big, first of all, I always, when I'm looking at things, I always think cock up rather than conspiracy, because a lot of the times it is. You can explain a lot of stuff to cock ups and just general incompetence, guys. You really can. You know, but these big things that this is a massive thing, guys. All right, why would there and again, you know, people laugh. People laugh at the Russian Navy. They do. The people laugh at the Russian Navy. They have an aircraft carrier that has to take a tug with it because it breaks down that often. I think it's diesel powered or something. You see smoke coming out of the chimney. People laugh about it. But what's the bigger joke? The United Kingdom spending billions on aircraft carriers and frigates and all this technology, and we can't stop rubber dinghies. So what's the bigger joke? I don't know. Maybe Putin is the big joke. Or maybe Putin just thought, well, there's no point in investing all this money in a navy. I'll just buy a load of rubber dinghies, and that's my invasion force. Who's laughing really? Who's the joke on really? Is it on us, the taxpayer? We've got all these we've got these fantastic warships and all this fantastic stuff, and yes, buy a rubber dinghy. They're more effective than your warships. And you can't, that is a fair argument, isn't it? You know, that if Vladimir Putin is, I mean, how much, hang on, let me work this out. I'm going to do some maths for you now. How much I know it's in the billions. So, wow, I didn't realize it was this much. Oh, so the 2 Queen Elizabeth class aircraft carriers built for the Royal Navy cost approximately £7.6 billion. let's just keep that number in mind, 7.6 billion. And then you've got to think about the aircraft, maybe the armaments that go on top of that and all the rest of the stuff. I don't know. I think that would be at the base level. How much does right, no. Right, so AI is telling me that a rubber dinghy to cross the channel costs around £500. So how many 500, I don't even want to do the maths, guys, it's mind-boggling. So how many £500 go into 7.6, what was it, 7.6 billion? Yeah, how many £500 go into 7.6 billion? So, you know, who's the joke on, really? Who's the joke on, really? Us for spending 7.6 billion on an aircraft carrier that can't be used, or Putin potentially for spending whatever he's spending on rubber dinghies? Rent HDHD is saying, have you been banned on TikTok from commenting? No, I have been banned I've been banned a few times on TikTok. I've had loads of videos taken down. Something that happened to me today, guys, all right? Something that happened to me today, and it's never happened before. For the subscribers on TikTok, I like, if there's something I need to get out there and it would get the video banned for misinformation or like making fear or something, I'll do it as a subscribers video, and that normally, excuse me, and that normally doesn't get taken down. But today I got a subscribers video taken down. I appealed it, and I said, look, there's no misinformation here. Literally, what I'm saying is in response to mainstream media articles. They have to put the links in. But what I'm getting at here, guys, is that's never happened to me before. So anyway, look, guys, it is what it is. I just have to be more careful. Sharon Owen is saying, a lot of truth tellers. Am I a truth teller? Am I a truth teller? Do I need a Miss Joe? Do you know what, Sharon? Let's get the mystic ball out. Let's get the mystic 8 ball that's never been wrong. The mystic 8 ball that's never been wrong. Right. Am I a truth teller? Right, halfway. Answers unclear. Ask later. Right. Answers unclear. Ask later. So maybe I'm not. Look, guys. When we started these channels, the reason we started these channels is because there was all this stuff happening, and like, I would say to people, no, this is what's going to happen next, and it would happen next, and people, like, in my personal sphere, they're like, wow, Sean, how do you know? I'm like, well, you just got to look at everything holistically, and look what's the most likely course of action. And again, I think the good one to look at is the Angela Rayner thing. Angela Rayner's coming out and she's saying that she's protecting people's jobs while at the same time destroying people's jobs. So, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. But, a lot of people still take what people are saying at face value. And I always say, guys, right, don't look what people are saying, look what they are doing. Talk is cheap, actions are harder. Right, Leanne, I've just remembered you put a comment up here before. Laurie Hill is saying maybe because you use the words conspiracy theorist or government. Yeah, I've never had a live, excuse me. I've never had a subscribers video taken down, guys. I've never had one. Look, so Leanne here is saying, Sean, well, I'm not sure she is saying Sean, but I'm assuming she means Sean. Do you see civil war coming to the United Kingdom? Yes and no. So civil war would be normally the definition, and again, this is pretty semantic. A civil war would be the people normally against the government. But what I think we're going to have in the United Kingdom is just like I've said it before. I've said the Summer of Carnage. You're going to have people divided and fractured, and there's going to be so many different divisional lines on racial, religious, cultural, geographical, financial lines, and then they're going to be making alliances with each other, and it's just going to be the summer of carnage. So I see mass civil unrest. Whether it would actually be whether it would actually meet the threshold for a civil war. Let's just have a look what the definition of a civil war is. And when I start to become like pedantic of this, it's because I know how this wording is important. So, for example, the other day we were talking about snipers. You know, the snipers that were in that were at Liverpool, and people were saying, "Oh, why were the snipers on the roof?" Something I thought of is like, if I was in the military and somebody asked me if there were snipers on the roof, and there was. Let's just say a sniper is a very particular role in the military. You have to go away, you have to do a course, you have to get qualified, you have to be badged. And unless you've done that, you don't call yourself a sniper. You're not a sniper. You can be a sharpshooter, and that's absolutely fine. You can be a lone gunman. But if, for example, I was in the military and I was in control of an operation, and there was some military guys on the roof, and they had rifles with scopes on them. To look at them, 99% of the population, and say they're snipers. If somebody was to ask me, Sean, do you have any snipers on the roof? I'd be like, no, I haven't got any snipers on the roof. And that's true. That is true, because those guys are not snipers. They're sharpshooters. And again, it sounds pathetic and menial, but you just don't. It's one of those things in the military, you wouldn't say they're a sniper if they're not badged snipers. If I was in a rush and I was at a press conference, did you have snipers on the roof? No. I had two guys with rifles for personal protection, providing overwatch. They weren't snipers, but everybody else sees guys in military uniform with. But we need to be we really need to understand the wording and the terminology and the phrases, because they can be very misleading. Anyway, civil war definition: a war between citizens of the same country. So yeah, do you know what? I guess we could. That would be in that definition. I guess that would be in that definition. Civil war is a violent conflict within a country fought by organized groups, including the national government, to take control over a region or state, or to change government policies. You see, that's the definition I'm thinking of. Where people are wanting to overthrow the government and change government policies. But what I think we're heading towards, it's just going to be carnage between people. Thank you so much, you guys, for jumping over. Thank you so much for jumping over. Right, let me jump down. Leanne saying thank you so much. Paul Sullivan is saying, hang on. GB News had a guy on saying sick people on benefits should be starved into work. I don't look, guys. I class myself as somebody who's on like the liberal right, I guess. And 10 years ago, I would probably class myself as a liberal. But yeah, that language and that sentiment, it doesn't sit well with me. Paul Sullivan again is saying, who is this woman Boris placed in the House of Lords? She's 23. I don't know who this woman is who was placed in the House of Lords at 23, but we'll have a look in a minute. So Morph FX, right? Okay, what's a sharpshooter? Okay, right. So in the military, you would get a sniper, right? And the job of a sniper is to go out on their own, normally in pairs of two. Normally in twos. Snipers would go out, and they would be very covert. They would hide in the undergrowth, maybe days, weeks, hiding. They would maybe take one shot, and then that's it. They extract one shot. Normally, that's what a sniper's trained to do. A sharpshooter would be somebody with who would be going out on the ground with the teams. So they would be on the ground with the assault teams, with the sections, with the fire teams, with the multiples, however your military unit is configured. Those sharpshooters would have a higher caliber rifle, probably magazine fed, gas operated. They would have a scope on that, and that rifle could be used to take shots at longer distances. But they can also be part of the team. So that would be a sharpshooter. And the sharpshooter and a sniper, totally different things, guys, all right? But I do understand that, like, if you don't understand how these things work, and again, like, I wouldn't be misleading people. And this is why I'm talking about, like, conspiracies and stuff, and how conspiracies and cock-ups and misinformation. If somebody asked me, Sean, do you have snipers on the roof? And I had, I don't know, like Smudge and Baz were on the roof, and they were two sharpshooters, but they were just providing Overwatch. You know, I would say, no, there's no snipers on the roof. We don't have snipers on the roof. We don't even have any snipers with us, because a sniper is a very specific role in the military, and you just don't say you're a sniper if you're not. But anyway, guys, that is, just that little example. Anyway, guys, listen, I am going to close the TikTok. Oh, hang on. Sean, did you hear they tried to take out Iran's president? No, I didn't. I didn't hear that. And the prince who will replace them was pictured with Bibi in Israel. Yeah, guys, listen. So it's all bonkers what's going on in the world at the moment with this Israel, Iran. Early on, when this conflict started, like 2 weeks ago or whatever, and they started bombing, what I said is, right, those aircraft at some point, they will need to be grounded for servicing and like to refurbish those aircraft. They can't continue longer than a week at that pace. And then you have the US going in there and just, you know, bombing things with the B-2s. Does look like there's a lull, guys. I don't think we're going to see the end of it. I really don't. I think it's going to continue. And what I said about boots on the ground, March 2026, the latest that we can see, like the very latest that we can see this happening has to be November, guys. It has to be November. What I mean by that, so I don't want people to say, oh, sure, you're changing the goalpost. No, I'm not. To put boots on the ground, March 2026, you need to start forward mounting people in November, because that's going to give your guys the time to do pre-deployment training, acclimatization, get your logistics in place, get your ships in place, and get that south coast of Iran really, what's the word I'm looking for? Conditioned for an invasion. Anyway, guys, listen, I am going to turn this off now. I'm going to turn you guys off on YouTube. Thank you so much. Listen, guys, if you've got to the end or if you're just joining, please hit those buttons down below, the like, the follow, the subscribe, whatever they are down there, bell notification, I don't know. Listen, I will be back on later at 8, and I'll see you guys soon.